Hello, hello. Happy Friday. It's coffee and a card day. I missed you the last couple of weeks. Last week was Christmas in July, my retreat on Saturday. So I was quite busy packing up everything. And also, most of my tools and things I might have shown you today on last Friday, were packed up. So, adhesives and tools and all of that stuff. So, anyway, um, that was busy. The week before that, I was away. So, thank you for being patient and welcome. If you're here live today, thank you for joining on. Hi, Debbie. And if you're watching the replay, I appreciate that as well. My name is Lorraine Sish. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the Baltimore area. And just about every Friday, I try to come to you with coffee and a card ideas of some cards that you can make. I also sometimes it's not a commitment every Wednesday. I like to do a little pre-recorded video called Whip It Up Wednesday. And those are simple cards for beginners or for when you don't have a whole lot of time, or if you want to make cards in bulk for either giving away or for charity or whatever. They are good cards for that. So check out Whip It Up Wednesday. It's on my YouTube channel. And that's Stamp with Lorraine on YouTube, and my blog, stampwithlorraine.com. Everything, just do Stamp with Lorraine. I'll come up all over the place. And hopefully you'll like what you see. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. That definitely helps my reach. And I am aiming for 22,000 subscribers on YouTube. I can't believe that. Last Sunday was my 5th anniversary of posting to YouTube. Yeah, it was during COVID that I started doing all of that, and it has made a difference. And this is why I got to meet a lot of you, or how I got a lot to meet of you. So anyway, hi, Gail. Going to see you soon. Hi, Karen. Always. Oh, Airways or always. Airways. That's okay. Airways too. Nice to see you on early. Some of my West Coast people or Western people. Anyway, so yeah, I am having so much fun with the Sunshine Vibes suite. It has some, I don't know, it just reminds me of like 70s. It's the designer paper is called Boho Vibes. And yeah, that's exactly what it has. The colors are sort of earthy tones. There's some bright colors, but it's still on the earthier side. The Cajun craze instead of bright red. Mossy meadow. The Daffodil Delight is a brighter yellow. It has the petal pink, which is your softer pink. So beautiful, kind of earthy, soft, but vibrant prints. So it's really a lot of fun. Grab your beverage and come watch along and see some of the cards that I make. Yeah, it's coffee and a card, but we're going to be playing around with a lot of different ideas today, as usual. Okay, I can't just stick to one. I have to show you other variations on. Hi, Joan, and hi, Rhonda. Nice to see you. Good morning. Thanks for joining on live. Let me take another sip of my coffee and then we'll get started. When I'm done with you today, I'm going to be meeting with one of my new downline members. Gail is on today, so give her a welcome to the Daisy Bunch. She recently moved near me, and so I get to see her in person now. So I said, let's get together and have a little chat. Much nicer than trying to do it on the computer or on the phone, right? All right, where do I start? That's always the big issue here, because this suite you can do so much with. It is just crazy. And as usual, I get overwhelmed until I get on a roll, and then I just can't stop. So anyway, here we go. Sunshine Vibes. The suite has coordinating Oh, let me switch to just my other camera. All right, that way I can, here we go. That way you can see better and bigger. There you go. All right. Hi, Nadine. Okay, I'll be seeing you soon, Gail. Yay. All right. So, how's the dies? I'm going to show you how these dies work. Pretty self-explanatory in a way, but there's so many different things to do with that. You have a lot of different arches. You have a frame that just cuts out a solid rainbow shape or arch. Use it for other things if you want. You need a great big C, you got one. You need a hill, you got one. Somebody said this would make a cute little bunny butt. Put a little a little puffy tail there, and it's like you've got the back of a bunny, cute for the spring, right? So that was cute. Now this is going to cut out individual arches to the rainbow. I'm going to show you how all that works. Then you have some decorative arches here, some squiggles, some dots, some radiating lines. You have a couple of arched branches here that when put together will fit as an arch in the rainbow. Okay, that can be one of the layers of the rainbow. And then you have a couple of stars and you have 3 little hearts. I love when these tiny ones are together, not all individual, because then you can cut 3 out at one time. And they're 3 different sizes. So that's kind of fun. Save that for later. And then the Boho Vibes Designer Series paper. Here are just some of the patterns that are available. I have a whole other pack that's not open yet. So I'm just going to kind of wait until I finish this. Otherwise, I'll be tempted to go in there and keep pulling out my favorites. So I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to say, okay, no, you have to finish most of this first, and then I can go into the new one, right? Kind of like picking out your favorite chocolates in the box or something, right? Although I will find super good use with all of these. All right, here's the back. So the colors here, Cajun Craze, Cloud Cover, Daffodil Delight, Mossy Meadow, Petal Pink, and Secret Sea. That's a new in color. Oh, speaking of in colors, starting on the 5th, I can't believe this is August 1st, right? So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, August 5th. Throughout the whole month, there will be a sale on items that incorporate the 2025 to 27 in colors. Okay, there'll be a sale, 15% off selected items that incorporate those colors, you know, so card sucking pads and paper and things like that. So check it out. August 5th, I'll be giving you more details. Sign up for my newsletter if you haven't already. Go to stampwithlorraine.com. Go to my blog. You can sign up for my newsletter there. I send out tips. I send out news. The other day I sent out a tutorial. You never know what I'm going to give you. So definitely stay in touch that way. All right. So here are a lot of squiggles, lines. This reminds me of colorful raindrops, right? Okay, but it can be anything. A lot of rainbowy colors. All right, that's that over there. I keep my cut pieces sort of in front. And okay, that's that. All right, so you have some arches here. You have rainbows going different directions. There's a piece. I love this one. This has those dots and squiggles. And then here's that other piece again. So I can put those together as well. All right, now the back sides obviously have a little bit more subtle print or pattern to them. A lot of in Secret Sea, which I like, and Cloud Cover, very pretty. And then the Petal Pink, I think, is just a nice complement to that. And then these are some in the Mossy Meadow. There are a couple of other patterns, I think. Let's see, there are 8, I think, different ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I have them all here. So that's good. I have a nice sampling for you. So we're going to be using these, and I'm going to show you a card or two, but then I'm going to just play around. You know, I like to do that with you guys and just say, oh, well, let's try this while I have captive audience. Okay, we did a card on the retreat using this set, and I will show you that a little later. But in the meantime, we are going to, where did I put it? Put it to the side. Here we go. I'm going to show you how these dies work. But once you see how they work, then the options are just unlimited. So like I said, we have a frame. Okay. Maybe I should put a dark piece of paper down that way. A little bit easier to see. Okay, here's Secret C. So here's the frame. It's going to cut out a solid piece like this. All right, so picture that. You put that on your white cardstock or whatever color, and it's going to cut out just the solid rainbow. Now, on there, you can put some of the stripes and other pieces I'm going to show you in a little bit. If you use just this die, it's the full plate, but it's only going to cut 5 different size strips of layers to the rainbow. And they're not perfect. They are a little wider, a little more narrow, as if you were doodling. Reminds me of when I was bored in school. Don't tell anybody, but I would doodle. I would listen. I still got good grades, but yeah, you know, doodle a lot of different things. You know, so it looks almost hand drawn. It's a little wonky, like, you know, to get that boho vibe. So when I put this on a card, I have a piece here, piece of cardstock. It's going to come out. Oh, here it is. If I put this on just a square piece, it's going to come out like this. See how it cut out all those lines in there? And then you are left with a lot of white arches. I put them in a bag. You know me, I hate throwing anything away. See, those are what came out of there. So what you could do is you could always take your blending brush. This is Cloud Cover. As you know by now, it's not available in a large ink pad, but you can always take that and, you know, add a little color to your white arches. I won't do the whole thing. You get the idea. All right. So I know that's rather light for the camera, but anyway, you could do that. That's why I'm not throwing those away. Maybe at some point I'll have too many and I'll say, all right, enough. You're going in the garbage. But meanwhile, no. All right. So then the third thing you can do with that is you can do both of these together. So if on your paper, you put the frame down, I mean the solid piece, and then you put the frame around it. Good morning, Tina. Nice to see you. Hi, Shirley, Tanya. You put the frame around it. It's going to cut the slits in there, the lines in there, but it's also going to cut this shape. So you're going to have this with the lines in it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Let me get a little washi tape. Not that it really matters that this has to be perfectly lined up, because it's all, like I told you, it's kind of all wonky looking hand drawn anyway, and it's not going to go very far, but I don't want it slipping off the paper. That's kind of what my aim is here for the washi tape. Okay, now hold that together. I'll run that through my machine. I have my number 1 plate, my number 2 plate, number 3 cutting plate, paper die, and then the other number 3 on top. Remember to keep rotating your plates. Okay, flip them, rotate them different ways. That way they will wear more evenly. They won't end up curving and getting permanently bent. Okay, if you have, you want your plates to wear by having too much etching on them, not by they're all curved and you can't lay anything flat anymore. All right, so this is what's remaining. And then this is what comes out. Now I'm going to take my pick tool and just pop out those that want to stay in there for a minute longer. All right, see what I mean? You're going to end up, if you're doing the white background there, you're going to end up with a lot of white arches. But you know what? People find creative things to do with them. Right now I'm having too much fun with the colors. Oops. So now you have the rainbow that's all cut out in the rainbow shape. So it's a combination of this and this. You end up with that. Right now, imagine if you did this in a variety of colors, then you will end up, which is what I did here, you will end up with, there's some designer paper. Okay, you can see I did a lot of colors here. I did Melon Mambo, I did cloud cover, I did I did petal pink. I'll show you that one later. I did yellow. So then got mossy meadow. I did all the colors that coordinate. Secret sea. Then you're going to end up with all those little strips, which I put in another bag. Now you can mix and match. I'm going to get rid of this because we're really not going to use that right now. You can mix and match all those colors onto your rainbow. You can build your rainbow. So this is what I have. At one point, they were organized by size in a little tray, but I needed to bring them. So they got all mixed up. So you can build a rainbow right on your white background piece like that, if you like. Okay, this happens to be real red. I know it's not in the color palette of the paper, but you can, if you're building a rainbow, it can be anything, right? As long as, if I'm not coordinating it with the paper, that's not so bad. All right, let's find other sizes here. Let's get a yellow in there. And then, okay, I'm not being picky here. I'm just picking out things. So you could build your rainbow like that and just glue those onto your white piece. And that would be a fun thing. And so you'll have texture because those strips are going to be raised a little bit, right? So, or you can then take this piece if you like, or this piece, and inlay them into your negative or the piece that you popped out here. So let's just do a couple of those. Okay, of course, you would glue this onto another piece first, right? Because you can't glue the edges. You need another piece in the background. So that would be your card layer. So in fact, I wasn't going to show you that one first, but let's do that one first. I'm going to get a card base. We're going to do white. All right, I keep these in my drawer ready to go. When I'm being creative, last thing I want to do is the mundane stuff. I don't want to be cutting white paper and scoring it in half and blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's take, all right, let's just take a piece of that designer paper, cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4. Okay, our typical layer. Or we can go a little bit smaller. Let's go 5. try 3 3/4. And that way I have a little bit more border around my card. Okay, it just frames it a little bit more. Okay, so then, no, let's do this one. I can glue this down first so it's not wobbling around. Oh. Like that. Then I would glue this one down. Maybe I'll put something behind here. Maybe a different strip. What's on the back here? I want something more solid. Let me take a piece of, since this is going to have some of the Cajun craze, I'll just take a strip of Cajun craze and put that across to tie in that color. So that, actually, it's funny because that is 5 1/4, and it extends the designer paper just a little bit. I think I kind of like that, actually, so I'm going to leave it. See what I mean? Kind of going rogue a little bit. So I'll put that in the middle. This is 4 1/4, so 2 1/8 would be the middle. Not that it has to be the middle, but why not? Okay, so I'm going to put this on top. Make sure you get the right side. The top has a little bit more softer cut line to it where the die went down. The back side is a little more rough. You feel the edge a little bit more. So make sure you're using the nicer looking side. Oops. I'm going to make sure I get those sides, corners, and edges. I want it flopping around. And then I'm just going to do little dots. This is a good place for the silicone mat, because glue will not stick to that permanently. Here we go. Just some little dots to hold those down. Come on. Here we go. Just a few. Okay. Put that there. Then I'll start building my colors, my rainbows. I'll stick that in. So I guess you can always just put the glue in there. That might be easier. I just thought of that. Rather than holding it like this and maybe getting glue on your fingers. Voila. Yay. And then there's no way of getting an accident of, unless you put too much, you're not going to get glue accidentally on the outside here. Wow, things you think of, right? All right, let's bring in the mossy meadow. We'll go with some of these earth tones there. I know these are not traditional rainbow colors, but hey, what the heck? We're going boho. Anything could work. All right, let's bring in something brighter. I know I'm going to have a yellow in here. Here we go. Oh, that looks cute. I love that inlaid look that this is getting here. And then our last color. Oh, actually, no, we have two more. Let's see. Blue. Yeah, why not? See, when you have all these here, just do a whole bunch of them and then just have fun. It's like having that fresh box of 64 Crayola crayons, right? And when you're putting these down, also make sure they're in the right direction. Number one, you want those rounded edges where they were cut, but also because they're not totally symmetrical, they won't fit in here if you have them reversed, the other way around. All right, then here's a petal pink we'll put in there. Yeah, so like I said, having all the colors available. Christmas was always the best. Get my new box of crayons every year. Santa knew what I wanted. Okay, so then that card's just ready for a sentiment, right? Cute, quick. Other than doing all those die cuts, once you have them, it's all good. Quick, easy, fun card. Just even a bunch of these as a note card with nothing on the front would be fine. Just a note. The sentiments that come here are hello, thanks, sending good vibes, and darling. So you can have hello, darling, thanks, darling. You can, I don't know, there are very few people I call darling, but that's okay. Actually, I saw this done with pastels as if it's a baby card and it says hello, darling. So that's really a good way. That's how I would use it the most, I think. And you also have sun with the rays. You have a crescent, could be maybe another color to the sun, maybe, or a moon. You have some little background images, and I love this branch here. Okay, so then, of course, you could do a similar thing by just gluing these onto that white background and then putting them on a card base. Let me grab one here. Is this? Yeah, I knew that was a little short. Is it funny how you just know? I could feel that and know. Yeah, it's 4.5 by 8 1/4. Really don't want that. So, oops. All right, this one is already scored for a Z card, Z fold. So that's not quite what I wanted. But anyway, you get the idea. I like it on the dark, so I would take one of those dark DSPs and put it behind that, I think. Like, I think this would look lovely. Right? Put that on your card front. Put your sentiment across there. You've got a fun card. All right, I'll put those together in a little bit. Yeah, I could put that on the white. I don't want to take the time to glue all this. If you really wanted to, you could put adhesive sheets on the backs of these and then cut them out. And then you don't even have to glue. You can just peel off the adhesive backing and place them down on your card. All right, so now let me show you what you can do with this part. Nothing goes wasted. We are going to take a white layer. And a couple of my stampers have seen me do this card before, but it's a fun one. I'm going to take a layer, so that's 4 by 5 1/4. And actually, I'm going to cut this down again a little bit too, because I want more border around the outside. So I'm going to take off another 1/4 of an inch. So that's going to be the 3 3/4 again by 5. There we go. And then I'm going to take that die and we're going to cut out just the slits. Okay, so I'm not going to cut this whole thing here, just the slits. Find it under all my stuff. Okay, so just this part, just the plate is going to go there. It's going to go right in the middle I'll secure it in washi so it doesn't move to where I don't want it. All right, let me just do this to my side. Okay. Carefully pull it up, and guess what you have? More white strips. Yep, you'll end up with a lot of those. Okay, the dies have those little holes there that help push, release those pieces that get stuck. Off we go. Okay. What? Watch this. I'm actually going to toss these. I've got a whole stack of them already. I told you, eventually it's just going to be, whatever. All right. So now with all of those fun, stripy patterns, we're going to find something that looks nice underneath there. And we're just going to put a piece of designer paper under there so that the colors show through. So this one, if I do this, I can maneuver it in a way, cut it in a way that's going to get 4 colors. Maybe I want more of the yellow and the blues. I'm not going to get 4 colors that way. I only get 3. Or I can try a different pattern. Whew. I could try that. That looks a little, kind of make my eyes go blurry, I think, a little bit. Between the arches this way and the arches that way. But, who knows? It could work. You can put something just solid in the back if you like. It doesn't even have to be this paper, folks. It could be a floral print. It could be any of your other designer papers. So let's see, what else? Which is another one that I would like? Well, this one could kind of work. That's a lot of squiggly things too. Let's see what this one looks like. That's kind of cute, right? With the dots and the lines in there. So let me, although I would want something a little more bold. See, this is what I mean. I would go to that other paper right now, the new pack, but I have these. I'm going to finish them up first. So don't let me do it. Don't let me. All right, I'm just going to go with this one. All right, I'm going to get some of the blue, some of the cloud cover, some of the petal pink, and some of the Cajun craze in there. So I'm just going to make sure I'm below my cut part and above the cut part. I'm just going to take a little pencil, make a mark. Just going to lift this up, make a mark underneath. I know I could go to there, and I'll make a mark over here. No, I have to stay to the side of that with my cutter. Okay, so I'll go a little bit in. This piece was 3 3/4, right? So I know I want to go about 3 5/8. And then I have my mark here. I know I could do that. And then we'll just glue that underneath. I'm going to arrange it so that I can see 4 colors, get some contrast. So again, I will put the adhesive. Put just around the rainbow here. Oops, let me get these things out of the way. I get all excited. I just, let me do it now. Let me do it now. And then remember, you'll want to still add a couple little dots to the backs of those white pieces so they don't flop around. Don't need much, just a couple, mostly to the top, I think. A couple little dots. Little dab will do you. I'm going to hold it like this on my silicone mat and position it the way I'd like it to be. Make sure I'm not going off the other side. There we go. Okay, so we have that. Now before, probably before I put the paper on the back, I was so excited, I'm telling you. Before I put the paper on the back, I should have stamped, but I'm going to show you what you can do in the meantime. We're going to stamp the sun, and I will take the round part, the half circle, and the radiating parts. Going to do Daffodil Delight. Let me get a bigger block. And we're going to stamp the sun over here. Now, it's only a half circle, so I don't want to see that corner. I want it to just be behind the rainbow. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Now, I don't want to stamp on the rainbow, right? So I'm going to just take one of these. I'm going to flip it over to sort of mask that. And then I could probably still use it. So let's use our Daffodil Delight. This way I will not get the yellow on my rainbow, the colored part of the rainbow. It'll look like it's behind. Okay, see how I've done on that and not on that. Now I see I missed a little bit there, so I'm just going to move this down a little. And I'll just add a little more, little touch over there. Try to do that again. And use a corner and just dab that in there. Okay, and I can use, I could use my pens, my markers also. Come on, extras. Guess it's not very juicy on that side. Okay, I can fix that later. I'm going to still use this as a little mask while I do the radiating part. You see how I should have done this before. I was so excited to pick a pattern. Now, depending on how much of the sun you have showing here, if you have a smaller crescent, you can do this just once. But because this is bigger, we're going to need to do it a couple times. So that. And then, so kind of do half and half. So now we have the rainbow coming out from, the sun coming out from behind the rainbow. All right. And then we can put a little sentiment down there. Again, that would have been good to do before I glued, right? I'm going to clean off my stamps so I don't get that on everything else. And then I will stamp thanks and let me do secrecy. I did another one I'll show you. I did another one in the Cajun Craze. But if I did Cajun Craze, there's Cajun Craze down here. So if I do Secret C, it's going to sort of balance that out a little bit. So this isn't the only part that has the Secret C. You know what I mean? Let me make sure I'm getting this straight. Simple thanks. Whew. Whew. Okay, did it. Hi, Joanne. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. It's okay. You're late. I will not give you any demerits. It's okay. I hope Joanne doesn't mind me mentioning, but she's on the Daisy team also. And we had a nice little mini retreat. Some of my Daisy team members took the retreat to go option because they couldn't come in person. So 4 of us got together and we did our own little mini retreat. So if you're on Facebook, go look at the pictures. It's a lot of fun. Alrighty, so let me put these things back here. And I just want to like take a weekend and just keep playing with these these rainbow things. Oh goodness, I don't know. Then we're going to put it on a white background. Or you can put on a color if you like, but I kind of like the white. Oh, this is not scored nicely. Luckily, I can kind of fix that, line up my edges, and readjust where that fold is. Okay, there we go. Nobody knows. We're going to put dimensionals on the back here. And I usually end up putting 9. 1 in each corner. One in the middle of each side. And then another one right in the middle. That's my system, and I'm sticking with it. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you had a good time. I did too. Always nice to get together. And I am so thrilled that I love all my downline people, but it's nice when we can get together in person too. So the people who live far from me will just have to come visit or move. So for longest time, all my team members were far away, and I started getting some locals. All right, so we have that, and then there are, of course, some embellishments that go along with this that have gotten buried. My goodness, how could I lose stuff right here? That's all crazy. I had them out ready to go. Okay, well, anyway, I will show you my other card with a different DSP behind it. Very similar. Okay, so there you go. Different, just a different DSP, same layout, a couple different colors. Here's where I put those little embellishments. The muted palette, I believe it's called. And then you've got some cute little cards there. Again, they could make a nice set. Okay, and you don't have to put anything on the inside because it's already a white base. So that's all fun. That's all good. And this is I'm going to show you some of those. Let's see what colors are these? Some of the fun arches that come on that. There, let me cut this down and we'll kind of build something from here. I have a cute idea for this card. I was thinking about it as I was waking up this morning and getting ready to go. Okay, 4 by 5 1/4, but I will have to work that up another time. I can't do that right now in front of you. Oh, actually, how do I want to do this? Okay, well, I was thinking, all right, let me build this here first. Here we go. We'll do that, and I'll add some of those extra things in there. So I'm going to glue this down. This is my 4 by 5¼ layer. So kind of winging it here. I know the concept. I've done some of these before, but each time you can change something up a little bit, make it different. Probably no two will ever be exactly the same because you have so many designs to choose from. I don't care that I went off here a little bit because it's the silicone mat underneath. It's all good. As long as I don't move my paper and get glue on the front. Okay, let's take that yellow and let's put some of those more fun designs in there. All right, we have Melon Mambo. And I did one, a plain one, cut out of designer paper. So that's an option as well. Let me see that. Oh, actually, see, that doesn't fit that way. It would have to go this way. See that? And I don't want that one. I wanted the darker color. But never mind. Never mind that. Here's another Melon Mambo up here. We'll just go with 2 of those just for the fun of it. And then there are the ones that, oh, well, here are the other ones that I did. He said there are these green sprigs here, or whatever color you want to do. Those look nice. And you don't have to have all the colors. I think this is kind of looking fun with not too many colors all at once. What else can we do? Oh, here's, oh, would it be crazy to have a yellow in there? Yeah, I don't want the yellow on the yellow. See, this one has the radiating lines on there. Let me see if I have another. Otherwise, we'll cut one real quick. Okay, I didn't do too many of those. All right, so let's do, all right, you know what? I'm going to keep to these 3 colors. I'm going to do another Melon Mambo with a little squiggly here. All right, this one's going to fit in there. No, that one's going to be green. I'll do that in the Mossy Meadow. We want Melon Mambo in the radiating one. Okay, so let's see. Will it fit on here? Yes, it will. Nice scrap there. I can put those on the plate at the same time. So we will put that on there. And then I'll get a scrap of the Mossy Meadow. Of course, that's the one color I didn't pull out. Imagine that. Let me sneak in here and grab a piece. I thought I pulled out all the colors. Oh, wow. All right, there we go. Run those through. I think this is going to be really cute. See what I mean? Every time you do it, you think of new combinations. Oh no. Have to do the Melon Mambo over again. It slipped. Ah, good heavens. Thank goodness for these little holes. If you don't have a take your pick tool, you should get one. Because it's great for positioning. I like using it to move things. Obviously, you need to poke things out. It's good for lifting. You can switch this around. You have a little paddle end. On the other side, you have your putty end that you can pick little things up with. I like, for instance, maybe those little hearts. Put a little piece of glue on them and stick them down. I love that. Nice and fun. Ooh, speaking of hearts, we should put some little hearts on this one, maybe. I love that little squiggle there. All right, I got to do this one again. See, I should have put some washi on there. Oops. One more try. Plenty of melamanda here. Oh, excuse me. That one's right in the middle of a big piece, so I know it's not going to move. Making sure I hold it. Okay. So cute. Like I said, I can't wait to try one in the pastel colors for a baby card. I thought that was a great idea. I just saw that someplace online this morning. Now, look how cute that looks. Oh my goodness. Right, so I will put all that together later. Let's stamp a little something down here. I'll just do a hello. And let's do a little bit off to the side. I think I'll do that in the mascara. Ta-da! And then we need to put that on a card base. Let's see what will work. Should we do Mossy Meadow or should we go with the pink? The pink's kind of bright, isn't it? Yeah. And maybe I might even put a little something else up there. I don't know. I have to think here a minute. With yellow, does that the light be too much? We already have that background there. I don't know. That might work if I leave a thin border. You know what? I'm going to have to play around with that, and I'll have to see how it goes. Hi, Susie. You made it on. Wow. Good. Oh, hi, Michelle. Watch the recording later. Have a great week. Oh, thanks, Michelle. You too. Another daisy there. Okay. Bye, Nadine. Have a good rest of the day there. So anyway, so that's an option there. I have all of these. I am going to have a lot of fun just inlaying all of the different colors and mixing and matching. I can't wait to play more with this. So here is one more idea. This card, kind of done, not in white, but I saw one done in petal pink. And also, this part doesn't have to be just cut. You can use one of your frames or one of your die cuts. So I thought that could be nice. We could turn it this way. And this I already had done in petal pink with the little squigglies behind it. So if I did that and popped that up, we'd have a monochromatic. I'm thinking of maybe lining this in a little bit of a color just to make that stand out a little more. Maybe, I think since I see most of the Cajun craze, maybe I'll try that. Just a teeny tiny border around there, I think might work. So this piece is 2 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to cut this. I'm going to start, let's see, I'm going to do it just an eighth bigger. Okay, so that was 4, so I'll go to 4 1/8. And I said 2 3/4, right? So now I want to go to 2 7/8. Then I'll have just a hint of that color around there. And of course, you can cut a little something out of there. If I had my circle punch here, I would pop the circle right out of there or some other punch. But for now, I'm just going to glue it on because we're getting close to finishing time here. Then I'll show you the card we made at the retreat. It was lots of fun. Okay, now see how that just frames it nicely and coordinates with some of that Cajun craze that's in there. And then I would put this down, glue that down. Again, I could cut something out in the middle there if I wanted to, right? You know, a rectangle, use my punches or another die. Okay. So tone on tone look here, and of course then this will get popped up with dimensionals. Okay, this is narrow, so I don't feel I need something in the middle this time. So like I said, that part does not have to be white, the base. Mix and match the colors. Find your favorite. And then you could put your embellishments on, or you can use the hearts. I just happen to have a couple here. I know you should have 3, but I could add another one later. So I would take the glue. Where do I want to put them? Okay, put one up here. A little dot of glue. And I'll stick the heart down. And I'll cut another one out later. I'll put another one here. I like to think about it, but then I also talk myself into don't think about it too hard. And then I'd put another heart maybe over here someplace just to, oh, I'm sorry, put another heart over here to mix that up. And then put my sentiment on maybe off to the side a little bit here. So, or just leave it as a note card. That's okay too. Sometimes we overthink or we don't know what we want our card for in the future. So we can always add that later. You know, a thinking of you, a get well, a happy birthday, whatever. So here we go. Let me clean up this mess a little bit so that I could maybe play. Today's busy, but all good stuff. Like I said, seeing Gail, having some lunch, and then coming home, going for a walk with some friends that will come back for dinner. I love that, you know, we just like pool our resources. And I said, well, what do you have in your fridge? And what do you have in mine? And we'll put it all together and have a dinner, you know, just make it easy. And it's a lot cooler now. Oh my gosh, it was under 70 degrees this morning when it's been 90 lately. So super crazy. Okay, so here are our cards. And like I said, I will show you the retreat cards as well. So we did those. We did that. I'm really loving this one. I love those colors. Oh my gosh. See, here's where that pick tool comes in handy. could use the point to move things around just where I want them to be. Okay, you get the idea, right? These little ones, the squiggles and the little leaf branches, use adhesive sheets on the back. It will go a lot easier in trying to get those down, getting the glue on there. All righty, and then here's the card we did at the retreat. The Z fold, you can see we cut out the whole rainbow, and we put the DSP behind it, kind of like this. But then we use the frame also to cut that out separately, and then that gets glued on, and then we open it like this, and you have your Z fold. 2 tall panels here, 2 smaller panels here. We use the sun, we use the leaf, we use a lot of the pieces from that suite. 4 different DSPs. 1, 2, 3, and then what's behind the rainbow? 4. So that came out really cute, I thought, and the ladies had fun with that. So thank you for joining on and brightening the day. Oh, one more thing I forgot to show you. See, I always remember the last minute thing. Wink of Stella is fun on these. Now, I don't know if you could see it. It's hard to see Wink of Stella on the camera, but added it to the sun here. Thanks to my friend Lois for reminding me about doing that. And so Wink of Stella is just this brush tip that has a liquid in there that has a little bit of sparkly glitter. It's just like we used to have Dazzling Diamonds, which was a powdery glitter, and that got all over the place. But this will not rub off. You just paint it on whatever you want to glisten and shine, like the rainbow. When you first get it, you'll have to take off a little collar, a little ring that's like a washer that's in here. You just will unscrew this. You have directions because it's made so it won't leak while shipping. So then you'll take that off, and then you'll have to prime it. There's little words here that says push here. So you'll have to squeeze it a little bit and shake it up, and so that it gets primed, and then you start getting the little glitter liquid down on the bottom. And if you want more, just let that dry and then go over it again, and it will keep piling on until it gets as glittery as you want. Lois also recommends putting it on your rainbow. So painting a little of the Dazzling Diamonds inside the rainbow so that sparkles too. Lois is a glittery, sparkly girl. She likes all things shiny and sparkly. And we like sparkly and shiny personalities too. And if you don't have that kind of vibe today, maybe this will help. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Shirley. Thanks, Gail, Tanya. Oh, she's got the little rainbow there. Thank you so much. If you like this, please help me out by giving me the thumbs up and sharing. And when you leave a comment, that helps the analytics. Also, Facebook and YouTube throws out more reaches, like when you see the up next, well, that's because, they're thinking that certain videos are popular and they will push that out to other people. So yeah, if you haven't looked yet back on my 5 years of YouTube videos, feel free to binge watch or watch one every once in a while. I said there are a lot there. Anyway, thank you for joining on. Thank you for watching the replay, and we'll see you again real soon. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye now.